Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
A Stanford University communication study professor, Nia Pickett Miller, is a walking, talking ad for sending your child to a trade school. As she teaches classes like race in popular culture and media, using Megan Thee Stallion's music and persona to examine systematic racism and black women's empowerment. In her hot girl teaching approach, good God, she claims that she's challenging students' conservative Christian values by linking feminist ideals to biblical figures. This is a private Christian college. They can do whatever they want. But do the parents going there know that this is a thing? Do they have an idea that this is happening? Do they know this is going on there? And if they do, what in the world are they doing? Good Lord, if I heard my kid went to a class like this, I'd be like, what has happened here? What is going on?
Number 6.
The U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled that the Trump administration must arrange the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a 29-year-old Salvadorian immigrant mistakenly taken to El Salvador's Secot prison. And, they say mistakenly. It was like an administrative error, they say. But he's still an MS-13 guy. He's still a bad guy. He's still a terrorist. He still can be deported. They're going to bring him back here, and that's what they're going to find. But it was an administrative mistake. So they say, bring him back. Now, it's interesting because they said you got to facilitate his return. They can't really force it, but you're supposed to, I guess, talk to El Salvador and suggest you let him bring him back. I don't know. And the White House could get him back tomorrow if they wanted to. They absolutely could. So we'll see whether or not they're going to actually do this. If I'm the Trump administration, I bring this guy back, I charge him with everything I possibly can, and then I deport him. But I start telling people exactly what he did.
Number 5.
The U.S. House approved the SAVE Act by a 220-208 vote with only 4 Democrats on board. This mandates in-person proof of citizenship for voter registration to curb non-citizen voting. Now, people like Terry Sewell, a dope, a congresswoman from the great state of Alabama, says, well, this will make it harder for people to vote. Less people will be able to vote. There's no evidence of fraud. Yeah, well, there's also no check in a lot of states. So that's important, too. Oh, okay, you can't tell me that this is a problem. You can't check for it either, so come on. Now, this is supported by President Trump and Representative Chip Roy of Kentucky, 2 guys who are fussing and a feuding. But you need 60 votes in the United States Senate. That's going to be hard to get. But this is a conversation that needs to be had. Democrats keep taking that position. 80-20 issues. This particular thing, 83% of Americans favor this. 83%. But Democrats say, but women won't be able to vote.
Number 4.
Republican populism is growing as House Republicans apparently are exploring a new tax bracket of 39 to 40% for those earning over $1 million to help fund their tax package. A shift from their traditional stance against tax hikes, driven by a desire to avoid perceptions of favoring the wealthy and hoping to eliminate the argument that tax cuts are for their billionaire friends that the media and their Democrats are pushing. The proposal is supported by figures like the House Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Harris of Maryland. That's interesting. You got the House Freedom Caucus on board with this. They aim to offset the cost of cuts like eliminating taxes on tipped wages and some openness to reverting to a 39.6% top rate for certain business owners. Now, the plan to eliminate tax cuts who make under $150,000 is still being discussed as well. Eliminate income tax for those that make under $150,000. So good luck to all of you who make less than $150,000 a year.
Number 3.
U.S. Representative Dale Strong, Republican of Huntsville, and United States Senator Katie Britt, great state of Alabama, have both said that they believe Huntsville's Redstone Arsenal will host the U.S. Space Command headquarters soon, with Strong emphasizing its selection through a rigorous 21-category process as optimal for national security. Britt referenced discussions with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and anticipates the incoming Air Force Secretary, once confirmed, hurry up, will uphold the decision that the Senate confirmation brought out that Redstone Arsenal will be the place. So, let's see what happens here. This should be happening. We are hearing this over and over and over again, and we are looking forward to seeing this. This was the original Air Force recommendation that was taken away for politics. Go read Reddit. They want Alabama to be punished and it to stay in Colorado.
Number 2.
The FBI, along with Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and local police, conducted arrests of 6 Tren de Aragua gang members during traffic stops, and they are now using these members to gather intelligence on tattoos and other evidence with an aim to disrupt the violent Venezuelan gang's presence in Mobile. Yeah, that's right. That's where this is at. That's what's going on. And they want to stop this from happening. Now federal agents are scouring Alabama for further gang links. The suspects are facing deportation under the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act. Those who wish to avoid this fate could do so by self-deporting, and the Trump administration is preparing to cancel thousands of Social Security numbers to help urge them to do so. Sorry, Democrats, they busted 6 more Tren de Aragua members. I know this upsets you very much. I hope you guys have a protest and say, keep them here, keep them here.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
In response to President Donald Trump's tariff escalation on Chinese imports to 145, yes, 145, 145, what am I saying here? Good Lord. To 145%, excuse me. That's what the tariffs are. China's National Film Administration, that's how they're responding, by the way, announced an immediate reduction in Hollywood film imports. That's right. Take that. We're not going to show Snow White here. That's just to protect their citizens. Citing sour domestic demand for American movies. We hear you. Which Americans can probably relate. Trump dismissed the retaliation during a cabinet meeting, saying, I think I've heard of worse things. Which is actually really funny. They're like, we're not going to show your movies. And he's like, all right, that's fine. As for the worst thing, overnight China declared that they will raise tariffs on American goods to 125%. So Chinese imports being tariffed in America, 145%. Now we're up to 125% American goods in China. But listen to this. Explain this to me. China said they are only going to go to 125%. That's it. It's a weird thing for them to do, isn't it? Hey, we're going to raise this tariff on you to 125%, but we're not going any higher. We're not going any higher. It's like, wait a second. This isn't what's happening here. Like, what is this? What does this mean? I would think it means they want like a negotiation. I think that would be the play here. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville supported Trump's tariff, urging him to keep hammering China to boost U.S. manufacturing. So 145% for China. That's where we're at. The Chinese said, oh, yeah, well, we're not going to show your crappy movies here. Trump said, all right, I've seen worse things. And then China goes, okay, how about 125%? But that's as high as we're going. There's a weird negotiation ploy. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's where we're at. 125%, no more. So if Trump goes 200%, they still say, hey, we said 125, and that's it. Maybe that's the play. If it is, we'll see what happens. But it sounds to me like there's some open for some negotiation. Hopefully we're about to have that conversation. Stock market reacted negatively yesterday. The futures are up today. So, yeah, we're going to get another day of coverage of the ups and the downs of all of this. That's just reality. That's where we are. Let's take a quick time out. We'll continue right here on WVNN.
Get WVNN stale checks and 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.
Every year in Alabama, we miss out on between $65 and $90 million in tax revenue by not legalizing sports betting here in our state. Money that can be used to improve our roads and bridges, or elevate our school systems and support our first responders. Contact your legislator to ensure sports betting is legalized in Alabama. Learn more at betonalabama.com.